Sammy. Do we have a commercial, Sammy? All right. Nice capturing the people, man. So, Sister Lisa, can we bring Lisa into the studio, Jamie?
Hey,
Lisa.
Lisa, what up? Yo, what up?
You blowing up?
What's going on, guys?
How you doing?
Hanging in there. Can't complain.
Still doing COVID, capturing the moments. I see you capturing the moments. That camera you got there.
Yeah, I tried. I started my business February of this year. I had been taking pictures forever, but I started my photography business about a month before COVID. And it was an interesting journey, put it that way. I did about 40 families with the quarantine porch photos back in April, where I would, go to houses and use my telephoto lens and take pictures of people on their porches. And some people didn't have porches, but it was fine. That's where I started. Actually, right before COVID, I did my first maternity shoot. It was like February 8th. We were lucky here. It was about 40 degrees that day. And I did two maternity shoots. And then we got shut down. So I've been very fortunate to be able to photograph people. I did a lot of photographs for graduates, kids that graduated 2020. I did many family portraits. And over the summer, when sports started to open back up, I was able to do league photography because that's one of the things I really wanted to get into. So I was able to capture people who were actually playing because a lot of the sports in New York are shut down. So I was able to get a bunch of makeshift leagues and kids together and take some pictures.
Lisa, let me ask one thing that people may not know about you. Your brilliance is I've seen you do a shoot with 4 people. One of them will be a sex symbol. The other 3 would be all right, but you make everybody feel equal. How do you do that? Like that, it's just amazing how I've actually seen you do that. So how is that done?
Who's the sex symbol, Kelvin? Who's the sex symbol?
Well, I don't want to leak information out. I just want her, we don't want to hurt nobody's feelings and stuff.
You guys were a lot of fun to take pictures of because you all have very different personalities. And what I like to do is I like to see how you work together and see the different personalities. A lot of times it's difficult, especially with family dynamics, depending on what happens to be going on that day or whatever. But, you just try and for me, you have to wing it. It's like, I took pictures of a 2-year-old and I think I must have did 200 shots and, 170 of them were her backside running away. So, I was exhausted that day. I was exhausted. I have to rethink my pool of what I want to take pictures of, but 2-year-olds, I'm not too sure about. But, I like taking candid photos. I like taking photos of people in their element without really posing. I enjoy those more than posed photography. I think the pictures come out a lot better. But with adults, it's a lot easier to take pictures because people follow instructions. It's a lot easier. And right. It's it's been a journey. It's been a journey.
Lisa, how do you manage expectations, with clients, like, and what's your process like?
That's my man in the back. He always coming through. My man coming through.
The man popped up.
We never know what you're gonna get. But how do you manage expectations? You know what I mean? Because sometimes you may have a client that may just come in and say, "Hey, they almost want to take over your shoot almost." Say, "Hey, get us over here and take us over here," and that kind of thing. How do you kind of manage that? And what's your process like when you kind of come in and I guess communicate a vision to your client? What's that like?
Well, it's funny. I had a client like that. I had an hour shoot with a family of 5, and the mom was like, "Oh, I want to shoot over by here, and I want to shoot over by here." And for me, it's more of a learning experience. So there are questions that I need to ask beforehand. All children are different, and a lot of children are on the spectrum. But I'll figure that out 10 minutes into a shoot. And then maybe I'll have the parent go, "Oh, my son is, he's a little on the spectrum." Yeah, I know. I figured that out. But, some people, I want to take a picture over here. Well, I can't take a picture there because you're in the sun. Sun is not your friend when you're taking pictures, So people are like, "Oh, I want to no, let's go over here." And I will kindly lead people to where they need to go. "Oh, I want to take a picture under that willow tree." Well, that willow tree is like 300 yards away. Do you want me to get you, or do you want me to get the tree? Because I'm not going to be able to do both. So, I try to give people what they want. And it's funny because sometimes they'll get their photo gallery and they'll be like, "Oh, what happened to the photos with us? Blah, blah." They just didn't come out right. It's, a lot of times it's funny. It's a crapshoot. Elements and kids and whether it's really sunny or it's really cloudy, or, taking pictures of you guys with your backs to the sun, y'all are bald and it was shining off your heads. And, it's,
yeah. And our heads are huge too.
And I, just have to, you got to sort of just play with the areas. I don't have my own personal studio. That's one of my things I'm working towards next year is being able to rent studio space where I can control the elements a lot better. But where I'm at, there's not a lot of area. People don't have space for studios. But that's something that I'm hoping to do. I also have a portable studio where I have backdrop and things in lighting and whatever, so I can bring that with me if that's necessary.
Can I ask you a question? Can you do a photo shoot for Derek's feet so he can be a foot model?
We got
we let it out. I got pretty feet.
Makes his feet so pretty.
You're a nut. Lisa, let me ask
you. Look, there's some stuff, just like Norris said, there's some stuff I'm just not going to do. I'm not going to do.
With all of the technology, with I guess the iPhone and all these people who I guess people feel that they're photographers, I'm sure we still need the photographer, and explain to the people the difference between amateur photography and actually being under the direction of a professional photographer.
These phones that they've come out with they're fabulous, to be honest with you. You buy $1,000 phone, some cameras aren't even that expensive.
Right.
You can, there are people that will use their phone and, want to take all kinds of photos, but you don't have the interaction of the photographer with the client, right? So there are things that I may see in my client that they're not going to see behind their iPhone. I did a shoot on 2 Saturdays ago. People wanted to do Christmas cards and they wanted to do it outside their house. And the mom said to me, my husband's tried it with the iPhone and the iPad and they came out, the iPhone and the tripod, and they came out horrible, but don't tell him I said that. That's what happens. you can try, and sometimes people do really well. But you know, if you spend a half an hour with me, I'm going to give you 25 photos that you're not going to be able to choose your favorite 5 from, because that's just, you know, people aren't necessarily aware of their surroundings and things that are around them and things that also make the picture, you know. So it's like when I go to a shoot, I like to get there early. I like to peruse the area, see what types of trees are around. You know, now it's dead, but you know, in the spring and in the summer, see what type of trees are around. I don't want to get cars in the background. It's you know, it's everybody doesn't do the detail that needs to be done when doing a photo shoot with your phone.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it may be easier to get around with your phone, but you know, you are limited to what you're going to be able to do on your phone.
So Lisa, how can people find you?
My website is www.lifeinmotionphoto.com. They can call me at 646-528-7779. I'm looking for graduates. My new thing is doing graduate portraits. So if you have a graduate that's graduating in 2021 and they're an athlete or they're a musician or they're a dancer, I will do portraits of them in their elements, dressed up in their basketball uniform, in their tennis uniform, or whatever their, you know, forte is, with their guitar, their violin, and make it packages reasonable for parents to purchase.
You do headshots and stuff too for people that are trying to get into modeling and everything as well?
I do. I will do headshots, and I will do, we call those fashion shoots. And those take a little more time, but it's definitely something that I do. And standard headshots for your LinkedIn and your resume, those are quick and easy and easy to do.
And shout out to anybody with some possible studio space for next year. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Thank you.
Lisa, we want to thank you for coming on. Thank you for blessing us. Thank you for photoshopping my beauty. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for everything, sister.
You're welcome. Thank you. Happy holidays to you guys.
You too. Continue success.
All right. Take care. Enjoy the holidays.